Today, we have 11 million illegal aliens in the United States. Illegal immigration presents a huge problem. That's why I decided to spend a week along the southern border to see firsthand how bad the problem was, and more importantly, what Congress could do to fix it.
Every country, I think, has to have an immigration policy that suits its needs. I start with the proposition, and some people may disagree, but I believe that every sovereign nation has not just a right, but an obligation to protect and secure its borders.
The security, border, port, or otherwise, should actually secure the country, not just serve as an election year ploy, like the Republicans plan to put up $1.2 billion 700-mile fence along the San Diego-Arizona border.
We're dealing with a broken system. It doesn't work, and that's why we've had all the problems we've had. In fact, it's a system that has allowed an illegal entry into the country to be a part of the deal. And then the illegal entrants have had an opportunity to work for an employer who looks the other way because he knows they're illegal, but it's good for business, and everybody goes on.
Today, the American dream is being lived out in many ways by many different people in many different venues, and we cannot end that. We need to maintain it. At the same time, we need to have sovereignty of our borders, and that's not an easy balance to strike.
This does not mean that the Mexican government is in favor of an amnesty also. But it's hard to imagine that people who have been here for almost a decade perhaps, that have perhaps 2 children that were born here, maybe a small house, a car, a dog, and you press me a bit a mortgage, will simply leave the place that has given them that opportunity.
That immigration to any country, and particularly to this country, is a combination of high politics and religious fervor, and at the same time very practical interests. It's about aspirations and it's about self-interest. And I think we ought to bear in mind both those dimensions, because when we try and make it only about one or only about the other, we run the risk of trying to square the circle in a way that just isn't true to our history, to our people, and to our current needs.
I think what we need to do at this stage is to take a look at where we are as a country, determine what is driving this issue, determine what is the profile of the immigrant today, and how we resolve this issue in a way that it can not only be good for America, but good for our relationship with the other countries with which we have trade, particularly Mexico.
Canada granted refugee status to more than twice as many Pakistanis as did all other countries in the world combined. In fact, our refugee acceptance rates are about 50%, whereas a basket of 17 Western countries have their refugee acceptance rates at about 12%.
We have a new world situation, the new possibilities of globalization that have now allowed for the free movement of goods across borders, as we see in NAFTA and all that. And we certainly now have the free movement of capital and financial instruments. But at the present time, we still do not have the world catching up to the modern age with the free movement of people and the free movement of labor.
We are a country of immigrants, yes, but we are also a nation of laws. People who want to be citizens will want to do it the right way, unquote. I would only add, in closing this part, that if they don't do it the right way as we determine it, we should put them on the highway back to where they came from.
The bigger problem is the illegal population that has been here fewer than 2 years. The Senate proposal calls for them to be sent home, where they'll then apply to re-enter the country legally. I don't think that's realistic, but in an election year, it's probably necessary to reach a compromise. Even with that, I expect conservatives will say that by providing ID cards to illegals, we are condoning law breaking.